Hello, I'm looking for a recipe out of an African American heritage cookbook from Tuskegee Institute. But I find Dr. George Washington Carver very, very interesting. He had concerns with the foods in the diet of the local community. Upon his arrival, Washington observed that the common diet of the sharecroppers was fat pork, cornbread, and occasionally molasses. When they were without fat pork, sometimes their only food was cornbread, served with black-eyed peas, cooked in plain water. Ironic, or perhaps purposefully, the landlords required cotton to be grown to the doorstep. Excuse me. Bless me. Ironically, or perhaps purposely, the landowners required cotton to be grown to the doorstep of the cabins. As a result, sharecroppers could not raise their own food, but were required to buy everything from the expensive plantation commissary. Consequently, they remained impoverished and in debt. Washington urged them to ask for a small plot of land on which to grow food and raise chicken. George Washington Carver showed them how to maximize productions of the plot or to live off natural boundaries where no plots could be attained. If the farmers could not come to him, Carver would load up his wagon, later known as the G's-up wagon, and go to them. In later years, the farmers would gather in the institution once a year to share information, show off their accomplishments, and celebrate their success. In addition to showing successful farmers' methods of increasing the yield, Carver was an accomplished cook, shared recipes, invited methods with the wives. As a result, the women began to participate as well. A number of these Carver recipes are included in this book. Additionally, some of his personal recollections are recorded as well. Those of Booker T. and his daughter, Paula Washington. So I have to look for a recipe. It's a long introductory, but I find it very interesting because he did wonders for food. I'm looking. And all type of things like old-fashioned lemonade, red lemonade, clove lemonade. But I'm looking for squash, and I don't know. I guess I'm catching them sniffles. But he has very interesting stories about his childhood, and his salads are pretty good. Like George Washington Carver's salads, these are his own personal recipes. He did some amazing stuff with food, not only just with peanuts. Remember, George Washington Carver's famous for his peanuts. And you got to think about when the white folks came, they was coming out of the cities, and they didn't know anything about farming. That's why they needed somebody that knew. And his mom, I have to give it to her, she probably was the genius. See, the George Washington Carver salad. For many years, Dr. Carver included wild vegetables in his own diet, and many nutrition and healthy benefits to be derived from nature's garden. In March of 1942, it was expected that the war efforts would result in a shortage of vegetables on the home front. In response to this current, Dr. Carver's published Bulletin Number 43, Natural Garden for Victory and Peace, in the hopes that everyone would get acquainted with the wonderful food and medical value of these wild vegetables and make them a permanent part of your diet. This salad is named in honor of a health-conscious scientist. And then they go on with a salad. He got a couple of types. He got spinach, lettuce. We got all different type of lettuce in there. Oh, chopped mint, chopped chives, some stuff I don't even know what they are. Hard-boiled egg, clove flower heads, a cup of violet heads from the plants. That's been a pretty salad. Anyway, my sinuses or something. hay fever or something all at one time, having the fan on and being 100 degrees. Actually, I ran out of because I made an egg salad. I ran out of sweet pickle relish, and he has a creamy potato salad, where you use 10 to 12 large red potatoes, which I'm going to substitute for white, only 6, and heavy cream, a cedar vinegar, half a teaspoon of vegetable oil, salt, and a cup of sliced green onions and chives. So I don't have the heavy cream. That's what he substitutes. I'm looking for something. But anyway, I just wanted to share it. This guy was a genius when it came to food. He was way before his time with the diet and the health and nutrition that you get from having a healthy diet, because he was able to recognize how people look that weren't getting a healthy diet. And he not only gave mouth service, but he gave them solutions. And he's great genius. But anyway, I gotta go look for my recipe. I'm looking, I got potatoes and I got a squash. So I'm looking for 2 things. And one thing about it is like his thing of like taking like taking something and using it in a versatile way, like your vegetables. So I don't know where I'm gonna go find what I need. But on the side, but anyway, I gotta go in the back. Oh, German sweet chocolate cake. Bitter chocolate, water, butter, sugar, 4 egg yolks, vanilla, sift of flour, bacon, soda, salt, buttermilk. It's always that buttermilk or that sour cream you're missing. That sounded delicious. I have almost everything else. But anyway, it's not like I really can afford not to eat a little bit more healthier, but it's good for you. And we do have a bad problems with diabetes here, and I'm all trying to get in my nature garden. I was thinking about getting starting some chickens since the egg prices was up so high. Trying to take some of Washington Carver's advice and do a small plot of food and some chickens. But I gotta check in on the laws. Oh, turnip greens. And now I'm hungry. I should never read this. Green beans with white potatoes. Actually, I have some green beans. And I have to do something besides what anyway, I gotta go eat. It's all right. I gotta take my nighttime pill. It's already a little after 10. So prep work. But I'm cooking like at night, like anything that's too hot, because it's been so hot in the daytime. So pulling out my old books, trying to find something. Trying something new, different. I think I'm gonna end up with spaghetti squash, just sauce on it. But unless I can find something else. All right, wish me luck. Eat well. And again, this is an excellent book, African American Heritage Cookbook. It's a traditional recipes, memories from Alabama, renowned Tuskegee Institute, and Carolyn Q is the one that wrote it. But it's basically all about George Washington Carver and the time that he was there. And it's very interesting because you have a lot of facts about that time period. Not only that, because Aunt Lurleen was into a nature garden. So, and he did the peanuts, the sweet potatoes. He did a lot more. He was a busy man. All right, so I'm gonna go find me something. That's one thing about George Washington Carver. He was a clever man. I think I'm cleverly going to decide on using 3 or 4 recipes together to make me a fine meal. Or either, I think I might end up just frying some fish and potatoes. I gotta go eat. Hungry. Have a good evening. Happy Saturday. Don't get too drunk. And if you do, hard-boiled egg is recommended in the morning because you need the protein along with water. Well, so don't forget to stay hydrated. Get a hangover in the morning. Try egg and bacon and hash brown. Recommended by Washington C. Carver and Encyclopedia. Anyway, so, if nothing else, scramble that egg up, hard-boiled egg. If you gotta eat nothing else, but I recommend the bacon and the eggs and the potatoes to go with it. All right, have a good evening. I'm hungry.